Let me tell you a story. 3 years ago, after the Social Good Summit, we started getting some messages, actually during the summit. So right at this very moment, while things were happening and conversations were taking place, we started getting messages from around the world saying, that is great, we're watching the live stream, we're there with you in Manhattan, we'd like to have a conversation in Malaysia. We're here in Mozambique. We are part, and we'd like to be part of that community. And so the community word was a discussion that we started hearing a lot, and people started saying, we're mobilizing, we're coming together. For as important as all of this digital connection is, there's something very important that happens when we mobilize and organize and learn from one another in person. So we can share, and we can share digitally, and we can be connected, but we're connected in communities, and that's an important part of a global community. Hence was born Plus Social Good. And it was not born because it was given to a community. It was born because a community already said to us, and here's the important part, we're not going to wait for you, we're already doing it. That's why we love the social good community, and that's why the Plus Social Good community has come together in such a remarkable way. The Plus Social Good community now represents thousands of people from around the world, with 45,000 people who have taken an action in one way or another, who have come together and said, I have a voice, these issues matter to me, they may not be considered my day job, but they are part of my everyday. I have a voice that's digital, and I have an impact that's real. Whether we're talking about people who have come together by the thousands in Brazil, in India, or all around the world, the Plus Social Good community is tackling some of the world's biggest issues because they happen to be issues right next to home. 10 of the Plus Social Good advisors are with us today. They are in this room. We're delighted that they have taken the time to join us. They represent countries and places as diverse as Jordan, Uganda, Brazil, Sweden, Hong Kong. Incredible people coming from countries of the Middle East, from places all around the United States. This hemispheres all the way around the world, they have something in common. These people are connected. These people are committed. These people are cool. Help me in thanking those that are here as part of the Plus Social Good community. Thank you for being here. Let's take a moment and let's watch a little bit about what happens when the promise of the Social Good Summit turns into action at the Plus Social Good level. Let's watch.
Hi, I'm Kate Beresford. I'm from Cape Town in South Africa.
My name is Meera Vijayan, and I'm from Bangalore, India.
My name is Adnan. I'm from Morocco.
I'm Darren. I'm from China.
Look for something that is not right, is wrong in your tiny neighborhood, and try to come up with a solution. When you come up with a simple solution to a tiny problem, and then it can grow.
Sometimes we think that, when you are struggling, for example, with trying to end poverty in your small district, you think you're doing it alone. At the Plus Social Good community, we're all working towards, one goal.
There's this, realization that real change happens when you start to really tear down these barriers, tear down these silos.
Life is about the people you meet and the things you create with them. And meeting people is the key part, it's the catalyst to creating new things.
That's the part of community, and that's the part of family that can change the world. Those are some examples of what conversation we open up next, a conversation about digitally enabling citizens. What does that mean? What does that mean in an era where education is of primary importance? What does it mean for organizations that have the ability to engage with citizens through this little thing that we've got in our hand that's got tremendous potential? We're going to have a conversation now led by this Chief Strategy Officer for Mashable, Adam Ostro. He's going to lead a conversation with Rami Aslan, the CEO of Türk Telekom. Help me in welcoming them.
Thanks, Aaron. Great, so we're here to talk about the digital divide, and I think running the largest telecom company in Turkey, you have an interesting purview into that topic. certainly a country where the economy has grown a lot over the last decade, but still some tremendous challenges ahead when it comes to getting everyone connected. So I'd love, for my first question, just to hear, what do you view as the role of ICT in a developing country?
Thank you, Adam. It's a great pleasure for me to be here, first of all, and it's a great honor as well. ICT is a way of life, and it's really has evolved over the last few years, and it's developed many countries and many economies, and it's playing a really big and growing factor in our growth and in our population development as well, and economies as well. So ICTs are today something that is not an option for us, because whatever we do in life, it's growingly becoming a way of life for us, whether we are running a small business, whether we are a large corporation, or whether we are running things from home or going to school. ICTs are a fundamental element in our lives, and some of us are fortunate to have access to ICTs, and some of us are less fortunate, and thus this program that we are pioneering here is really critical to make sure that we provide access to ICTs and to technology that will allow people to develop and to have the right skills and digital skills that are needed across the population, not only for the youngest ones, but also for those who have missed the ICT development, and they have missed that development and ICT era, and these are people who are in their mid-30s, maybe up to the late stage of their life. So for us, this is a critical component that we have to develop, and we are developing the program that we're talking about today.
Right. Where is ICT adoption in Turkey right now? What percentage of the population is connected?
Well, I mean, it's not an easy answer, but clearly Turkey has been, as you said, you rightly said, developing at a very fast pace. If you compare the infrastructure in Turkey, whether ICT or other, in the last 15 years, there have been really phenomenal growth in Turkey. Yet, the ICT development and the ICT penetration has not reached the levels that we really strive for. Of course, it continues to grow at a very fast pace, but we would like to accelerate that to catch up also with the developing economies.
What are the biggest sources of the divide in Turkey, of those that are connected and those that aren't?
Well, if I can say, I mean, there are many reasons why people don't join the digital space. The first one is awareness. They're not necessarily aware of what they can use the digitization for, or the utilization of it. Also affordability. Some people would like to use it, but they cannot afford it. And some people actually fear it. They just don't feel comfortable that they will be able to jump into the bandwagon and really understand what this is for, and how they can make sure that they can use it securely and safely without being exposed. So that's the role of us, to educate people and make sure that we create the right awareness, we create the willingness as well to use it, and how to use it safely is also part of the program.
Mm-hmm. Now, you recently launched an initiative to get more people online, specifically really focusing on folks that might be a little bit older or disadvantaged, and I think the approach is interesting. Tell us a little bit about how you're going about that and some of the partners that are involved as well.
Right. The program is really simple. We basically use young volunteers who understand technology and digitization, the digital world, and basically use that young youth and volunteer population who has been growing with us. We now have more than 180 volunteers who have been really training thousands of people. Basically, the aim of the program is to look at the population that is around 35 or more, predominantly women. We have 2/3 of our population are women. Also disadvantaged, people who have any form of disadvantage or handicap, that we will be able to provide them with the extra attention to be able to give them the opportunity to learn about the program and to learn about internet and to learn the use of the internet. Also, what the internet is used for. So it's not purely just communication or access. It can be used for social media. It can be used for e-government or corporate activities, how to access your e-banking, how to access e-government programs, also how to use the social media responsibly and being able to use the social media in a way that is also safe and to the best use of it as well, maybe for your own business, maybe to spread a certain program, et cetera, et cetera. And that's been really rewarding for us. I mean, we have actually 3 volunteers with us here who have been working really, really hard, amongst many, of course. They represent the group. They're actually here. I'm not sure where they're sitting, but we have, here we have, so Ahmed and Dilek and Ulash as well. And we have 2 members, Şengül and Birsen, who has not been able to make it, but I really would like to give them a hand because they've been working really, really hard, and they've trained the trainers, that they trained many people, thousands of people, and we use them as role models that we build on in our program.
Yeah, it's a long flight, so thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
So I actually find this part pretty interesting. So tell me a little bit about this idea of getting young people to educate older people in terms of technology in Turkey, and what gets the young people excited about this program?
Well, we called it Life is Simpler with the Internet. I believe the young gentleman and lady here said life is beautiful with the internet because they came to New York today, so they wanted to change the name of the program. But effectively, you know, this is really rewarding because, you know, with the team we have of volunteers, they wanted to help the communities. They wanted to help their underprivileged areas. They wanted to help areas where you know, they don't necessarily have the right awareness or willingness or ability to use the internet. And these are the people, the very people who can access the older crowd and see the reward of it. I mean, we've seen many cases where older people were able to connect to loved ones, to contact them, older people who were able to actually start their own Instagram for a small program, housewives who were able to run small businesses, and many other cases where, you know, people who, you know, we have a case where a member of the community was able to sell honey, you know, through Facebook, and the sales and the price has really evolved because there was a lot more appreciation for the product, etc., etc. So, you know, that is the kind of reward that the youth benefit from and see in developing their communities and the unprivileged part of the population.
Great. Last question. Theme of the event, 2030 Now. What are your goals for the next 10, 15 years? And your goals for Turkey in terms of connectivity?
Well, I mean, that's not an easy question because, you know, as you know, ICT is very fast evolving, and it's probably very hard to tell where we're going to be in about 5 years, let alone in 2030. But the message here is that it's very important and critical for us that we realize the fast growth, and we realize that the internet is going to be part of core of our lives. And you know, there are the many fortunate ones who have access to the Internet of Things, but there are many others who don't. And our goal really should be to ensure that we provide, and should be, that everyone will have that access by 2030. And we'll do our utmost best through these programs to do that. And I, as the CEO of Türk Telekom, feel very fortunate to be part of this technology and ICT world where we are able to provide and support these programs.
Great. Well, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have me. Thank you very much.